I'm in desperate need of making banana bread today, so that's what we're gonna do. Check out all those spotty bananas. Alright guys, so you saw at the beginning I'm going to be making some banana bread today. I'll show you all the ingredients. I was going to make a recipe from the Minimalist Baker and it was gluten-free, and I figured, oh, I'll just substitute in regular flour. Well, it calls for almond flour and a gluten-free flour mix and oats, and it just seemed like a lot. It was going to end up being almost 4 cups of like flour stuff, and that's about twice as much as you normally need for a regular banana bread recipe. So I ended up looking at like 10 different banana bread recipes, and I just kind of picked stuff that was normal from all of them, and that's what I'm gonna go with and hope that it turns out. I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't think I've ever made a vegan banana bread before. If I have, it's been a long time. So we're gonna put this together and see how it turns out. And all right guys, enjoy. Okay, here's everything I decided to go with minus the flour. I just haven't got that big old tub out yet. So we're gonna do 3 very ripe bananas, and this isn't in a very good order. It's just how I wrote it down as I was taking notes. So we've got 3 ripe bananas. We're gonna do a teaspoon of vanilla, and here I've got 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and I believe 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. So that's what's in there. It's gonna be 1.5 cups of flour when I get that out, and the sugar was all over the place. So like I said, I started prepping for another one earlier, so I'm just kind of keeping some of the stuff that I already had out and hope that it works. So here I have 1/2 cup of regular sugar, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and here I have 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. And in here I have 3 tablespoons of melted coconut oil. And I believe, and then measure it, just kidding. And I have almond milk, and it'll be 1/2 cup of the almond milk. So we're gonna start throwing stuff together and see how it works. And then the oven's gonna be set to 375, and this will probably bake for somewhere around an hour. Yes, I meant, oh sorry, spoon's in the way, whatever. I meant 350. I think I said 375. So it's gonna be 350 for about an hour, depending on your oven. So you can start checking a little bit early, and it may take a little bit longer. Again, it just depends on how much moisture you have in your recipe and how good your oven is. So let's get to mixing stuff. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get my bananas mashed up, and I'm also gonna add in the maple syrup. That way I'm not doing extra work. Just get it all mixed in there. A little maple syrup, and I'll probably go ahead and add in the almond milk as well. Probably the sugar too. Alright, let's get to mushing and mashing. Alright, I got in there with my hands a little bit too, because it's hard to see the chunks that are in there, so I'd rather just kind of feel around and get the last little bits of chunks of banana that weren't quite mashed enough for me. Just put in the coconut oil. You can use whatever oil you like. You could also use canola oil would be another good one if you're going to use oil, because it's pretty flavorless. The coconut oil is going to add a little bit of a coconutty flavor, which I don't mind. If you want this as low fat as possible, then I would suggest substituting in applesauce. Which is what I do in my pumpkin bread recipe. I do like 3/4 applesauce with just 1/4 oil, and that gives me a pretty good texture. 1/2 and 1/2 is even better, but a little bit of oil in here, that it really helps the texture of it, but that's up to you. You can totally leave out the oil and just substitute applesauce. That's not a big deal at all. Or you could even do another banana probably, and that would probably be just fine as well. So that looks pretty mixed. Let me get the rest of the dry ingredients, and then we'll be almost ready. All right, now I'm gonna do the 1.5 cups of flour, and then I have the 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda and 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So we're gonna put that in here and mix it all up. Guys, so as you saw, I ended up going with probably close to 3/4 of a cup of flour. It looked a little thin. Again, it's been a while since I've made it. That's about as thick as it is, like a thick, lumpy pancake batter, I'd say. So I'm sure it'll be fine. When it comes out, if it seems a little too wet, even after I've baked it for a while, then I know to add probably the full 2 cups of flour. And if it comes out a little bit dry, then I know that I should have stuck with the 1.5 cups of flour. So I'm gonna put this in a prepared loaf pan. I just have a regular loaf pan and I sprayed it with some coconut oil, so I'm gonna pour that in there and then we're gonna get it in the oven. Of course, at this point, you could add in any little add-ins that you wanted. So if you wanted to go ahead and add in some nuts, go ahead and add in some nuts. The traditional would be walnuts. Pecans would be good too. Some people like to do maybe raisins or chocolate chips or something like that. Hi, instead of just looking at my bowl, you can look at my face. I don't like anything in my banana bread, although chocolate chips would be good. If I had them, I would probably maybe do some mini chocolate chips because I don't like big chunks. And then I was looking at a recipe from Isa Does It, the new cookbook that I bought, and she does a marbled banana bread. And so she takes cocoa powder, mixes that with hot water, and then like swirls it through the bread. So that might be delicious too, but I was going for just a very basic bread this time around. And I still have another 5 or 6 bananas, so if this isn't quite enough bread for me, I will make more. And what I'm making this for isn't just to make it. I am going to be going on a trip to Louisiana to see my husband's family. We're going to be gone for 6 days. Yay, 6 days! So I wanted to make some stuff to bring with me, some snack stuff, some breakfast stuff. I probably will make smoothies while I'm there, I think, but when it's colder, it's kind of nice to just have tea and a baked good in the morning for breakfast. So, all right, I will stop babbling. We'll get this poured in, get it in the oven, and next time you guys see me, it's gonna be at least an hour, if not more later, as we see how the bread goes. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Be back in a moment. Here it is, hot and fresh out of the oven. It stayed in for an hour and 10 minutes. Probably could have done an hour and 15, still would have been okay. The toothpick I stuck in the middle came out with just a tiny bit of moisture on it, so I figured it was good to call done. I'm gonna go ahead and let this cool for a little bit in the pan, and then when I can touch the pan a little bit better, I'll take it out and cool it on a wire rack, I hope, and then I will come back with a taste test. But oh my goodness, does it smell so good that I've been like drooling for an hour while it's been cooking. So hopefully this tastes amazing, and I will come back with a taste test for y'all. Alright guys, this has been cooling for probably close to an hour. I'm starting to cut into it. I need it to fit in this container, so I got to cut off that first chunk, and I think that's what I'm going to try. So let me get this cut up and out of the baking dish, and we'll do a taste test. Alright guys, so it's still a little warm in the middle, and I actually should have baked it longer, and I think it's going to need a little bit more flour. Let me see if I can show you this. Hopefully you can see at the bottom right there, it's still a little gooey. I'll be fine with that. I can just put it in the toaster or something if it's that big of a deal. So I'm thinking probably for sure do 2 cups of flour and then let it bake just a tad longer. But yeah, oh, it smells so good though. So I might actually make another batch tomorrow to take with me. Probably eat this in the next couple of days. So I'll start eating from the gooey part and work my way up. And because it's vegan, it doesn't matter if it's a little undercooked, it's not gonna hurt you. It's good. It's just basically undercooked a little bit, so yummy, 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 yummy. That's really good. Okay, sorry. That's enough of me snacking. Alright guys, if you have a favorite vegan banana bread recipe, go ahead and put it in the comments down below. Give me a link or just write out your recipe. This is pretty good so far. I just kind of mixed and matched recipes that I found online and in cookbooks that I had, and it still needs a little adjustment obviously, but I'm definitely on the right track, and I'm really excited about it because I love banana bread, like love banana bread, just like I love my pumpkin bread. So One of these days I might actually try it with the applesauce, but the fat gives it like a little bit better texture, so I think I'll do one of those like half and half Dealy Bobbies. And this has 3 tablespoons of coconut oil in it, and I believe most of the other recipes called for anywhere from 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of oil. So 3 tablespoons of coconut oil in this whole recipe, it's really not that bad. So I'm pretty psyched about that. Yeah, alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you make this bread, what adjustments you make, and again, list any banana breads down below that you like, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye! Alright guys, so Hey everybody, so as you saw at the very beginning, sorry, I'm adjusting my apron. Alright!